So thank you for hopping on. Yes, record. All right. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Um, Hope you all could turn your cameras on as well. We're ready to get started with this call. For people that don't know me, my name is ALLIAYHA TOELLER. I am 23 years old and I live in Indiana right now, born and raised in Wisconsin though. So very excited to be here. We have a lot of great information to share with all of you. But for people that weren't on the call last week, I'm just going to do a little recap of what we talked about. So we went over the 3 aspects of personal development, which were mental, physical, and emotional. So now this week, what we're going to do is we are going to talk like the implementation of how self-development plays in your life as well as your success. So we will cover tonight, we will cover confidence, we'll cover how to make a schedule, and we will talk about how important it is to read books and use other resources when it comes to self-development. So with that being said, we will go with it now. So what I'm going to talk about is how to implement self-development into your routine. We've been talking about routines and habits now. That's been our discussion for this month of January. So how to implement self-development, there's a lot of ways to do that. But number one thing that I really like push and see the how do we explain it? What I see in this is like reading books is so important. Me growing up in high school, throughout college and things like that, I never liked to read. If I had to read a book, I would just read it just to read it. I wouldn't read it to understand it. So reading books is super important when it comes to developing who you are as an individual. You learn so much. And so that's number one. And also sacrifices. You have to make certain sacrifices when it comes to you as your success and who you are as a person. And also finding out who you are. So another thing that I like to talk about too is gratitude. Not a lot of people show gratitude or show that they are thankful for just the smallest things in life. It could be literally just waking up. You wake up every single day. Not everybody gets the chance to see another day. So being grateful for the smallest things that we take for granted. So gonna get into it now. So with reading books, like I said, it helps you gain knowledge. It also helps with confidence as well as communication skills and other skills in your life. Also, I forgot to mention, if you don't have a notebook, you should be taking notes. It's proven fact that you will forget 95% of things that we are talking about on this call. And I do want to share too that we aren't doing these calls just for us. We don't just run these calls just because we just want to just run them and just sit on here for an hour on a Friday night when we could be doing something more productive. But we're on these calls because we want to help other individuals. We want to impact other people. So, you should be taking notes. You should always be taking notes. So great. Now that I got that out of the way, go back into it. So books, like I said, that's a way to help yourself develop as a person. And knowledge, confidence, communication, as well as other skills that you wouldn't even realize. So success is not the key to happiness. I read this in a book. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. I'm going to say that again. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. So happiness doesn't just mean money. Happiness could mean you're healthy, the way you live your life, who you talk to. You know, it doesn't just mean money. When people think success means money, no, success is so many other things. So I read this. I'm sure you guys know if you were reading The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. So it talks about in this book that happiness, these are the 5 keys to happiness. So the first one is happiness doesn't come from genetics, luck, or chance. That's the first thing. Happiness doesn't come from genetics, luck, or chance. You don't just, I mean, no. Happiness doesn't come from that. I was going to come up with an example, but no. Happiness, this is the second one. Happiness has a lot less to do with circumstances than we think it does. So happiness has a lot less to do with circumstances than we think it does. The third is happiness isn't the result of some big out of reach event or attainment. Happiness isn't the result of some big out of reach event or attainment. The fourth, can't count. Happiness is created by simple, easy things we do every day. The simplest things, like I said, not just money. Happiness is created by simple, easy things we do every day. And the last key to happiness is unhappiness is created by not doing those simple, easy things every single day. So unhappiness is created by not doing those simple, easy things every single day. So those are the 5 keys to happiness. But while reading this book, it was just, I'm like learning so much just about myself and what I can do better each day to implement into my routine, because every single day you should be doing something better than what you did yesterday. So growth creates abundance that turns to responsibility. So growth creates abundance, and that abundance will soon turn into responsibility. So what I realized too with reading books is that you don't realize it consciously, but subconsciously you'll start to progress as an individual. You'll start using the things you're reading into your life without even realizing it. And for me, that's just something that I've really noticed the last couple of weeks with reading multiple books. Like I'm reading 2 books at a time, and sometimes it's just like crazy to think that like that is literally how it works. You don't realize when you are using certain things with self-development and incorporating it into your life that it has a huge effect, not in the moment, but in the future. And a lot of people think that, you know, you're going to see the results right away because that's what everybody wants, right? You want to become rich, like just like that. You want to become a happier person. You want to feel better about yourself right away, but that's not how it works. That's not how it works. So, like I said, with books, reading 10 pages a day goes a long way. It's so simple. It's so simple, but it's so simple not to do it. So I like to tell people that, you know, you have a 300-page book. Well, read 10 pages a day and you will read that book in a month. Just break it down. You know, we can't stress it enough. And any successful person reads books. They read books. You know, I read something that was just like, you go to college, you know, you read a bunch of books, you write a bunch of papers, and it was saying how that people really, really think that they will never pick up a book in their life. They're like, I'm done with school. I graduated. I never have to pick up a book again. And that's the silliest thing to me, because it's just like, just because you graduated college doesn't mean that you aren't going to, like, you're growing as a person. You should want to be developing your life, even if you are in a good place in your life. You should always be wanting to become better. Well, how do you become better? Well, you have to read books. You have to surround yourself around positive people. So, like I said, books are super, super important. But the next thing that I want to talk about is sacrifices. I know I've mentioned this before, and I'm going to keep saying it because it is super important that you have to want to change. You have to want to change, because a lot of people think, okay, well, I want to become a different person. I want to become more healthier. I want to work out. I want to be stronger. You know, you want all these things, but you don't do anything differently to change that. So how do you expect a different result? You know, that's not going to happen. So you have to really think about your future. So making certain sacrifices in your life might hurt you in the moment, but it will be so, you will be so proud of yourself when you start to see the results that you want to see when you make those changes. You know, you will lose friends. You will lose certain people in your life that you might have been friends for 20 years, you know, growing up your whole life. But you have to go through certain things to really, really figure out who it is you are and what you want for yourself. So that's what I got for sacrifices. And just finding out who you are as a person. Like, that takes time. And how do you do that is you read books, you listen to certain audios, you listen to positive things, you surround yourself with positive people. These are things that we can continue to say. You hear a lot of people talk about it because it's so true. It is so true. So I am going to share my screen, and I am going to show you all this. One second. Not prepared for this. Okay. All right. Let me know. Put a 7 in the chat if you can see my screen right now. Yeah, I'll see my screen. Okay, great. All right. So I don't know if anybody has heard about this, but this is the iceberg theory. So what this is saying is that you have the conscious, your conscious mind, you have your preconscious, and you have your unconscious. Subconscious, your subconscious is the same as your preconscious. So, you know, you do something, and that's your conscious, but your subconscious is what I was saying about you reading. Or say a better example that I have is you're driving somewhere, and you're not even thinking about where you're driving to. You're just driving, and you end up going home, and your mind is thinking about what you're going to eat tonight, or you're thinking about anything but how to get home. Well, you end up home, and you're like, well, how did I get here? Or say a friend's house, you know, because obviously you know how to get home, but you go to a friend's house. Like, that is your subconscious, because you're not even paying attention to where you're going. You're just getting there, because your brain is so developed that you use your subconscious so much without realizing that you're using that. So then you have your unconscious as well. So three ways. One second. Struggling here a little bit. All right, my bad. Okay, so 3 ways to create a belief system. These are the 3 ways. Number 1, your words. The words you say, what you hear come into your ears. Words are super, super important as well as super effective in your life. You got to be careful who you're listening to, what you're listening to, and what you're telling yourself. You should always be telling yourself positive things. So, if you tell yourself, oh, today I'm going to wake up, today is just going to be such a bad day. Like, I don't even want to do today. I don't want to go to to my family's house for celebrate this. Well, you already know it's going to be a bad outcome. You're already speaking into existence that I don't even want to go here. So the words you say and the words you listen to, as well as who you let into your life, really has a big effect. So the second thing is images. What are you looking at? Are you following people on social media that are very negative and all they talk about is how much they just wish life was different, and they wish they had this and wishing? Are you following people that are positive and talking about what you can do to better yourself? That it's gonna have a big effect. You wouldn't think it would, but it does. So the images you are looking at is big. So make sure you're following people that are positive. You're talking to people that are positive. You're getting that from other people than just social media as well. And then number 3 is how you feel about yourself. So that goes kind of with the words on how you, or what you're saying to yourself or what you're hearing. So how do you feel about yourself? You can tell people you feel good about yourself, but deep down how you feel. So if you feel good about yourself, that's great, but everybody always has struggles, but it's just a way of overcoming. And like I said, affirmations, positive things, tell yourself positive things, listen to positive people, surround yourself with positive energy. It's crucial, huge. So just to recap on all that, what you speak determines the peak of your life. I that was a quote that I got from a great audio. What you speak determines the peak of your life. So that right there, huge. And then also too, like I was saying, gratitude, show thanks, be thankful. One thing that I started implementing in my daily routine was somebody actually, on the team, he literally called me and he was like, you know what? You need to start telling yourself positive affirmations. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like it's so easy to say, yeah, I know I got to do that. But it's so easy not to do it. That every morning, did you do your positive affirmations? Yeah, I did. So tell yourself 3 positive things. 3 positive things. Every single day, just do it. The moment you wake up, instead of looking at your phone, that's something that I still struggle with. I go to my phone first thing in the morning. No, don't pick up your phone. Go to the bathroom, look at yourself in the mirror, tell yourself, I am so happy and grateful. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm alive. I'm so happy and grateful I woke up today. I'm so happy and grateful. Whatever you want in your life, tell yourself that, because you will start to feel so much better about who you are. And it's so important to always be thankful and show gratitude. It is. I know I forgot to talk about one last thing that goes with happy habits, actually. And so if you're stuck, you're stuck in how do I implement new things into my routine? I always heard that you don't want to just change your routine, the whole thing. You want to take baby steps. You want to take little steps and change little things. And reading this, it says 5 happy habits. And it says for 5 of them, one of them was each morning, write down, like I said, 3 new things that you are grateful for. And that doesn't mean every single day you write down the same thing. No, you come up with 3 new things that you are grateful for, because like I said, we should always be grateful. And you can't tell me that there's only 3 things that you're grateful for in your life. There's so many things to be grateful for. So that's one thing. If you're struggling with how do I change or how do I work on myself? Well, these are small little things that go so long in your future. So the second was journal for 2 minutes a day about positive experiences from the past 24 hours. So just journal for 2 minutes or even a page. That's what I do. I try to journal every single day of just a page of showing gratitude. I implement those two things together. I journal and I show my gratitude towards what I am thankful for. And then another one was meditate daily for a few minutes. I don't know on here who meditates. That's something that I want to get more into, my spiritual mind and everything like that, because it was for me when I first started meditating. I didn't think I was doing it right, but there's no right or wrong on how to meditate. You just have to do it. So that was one. And then the two last things that I have are at the start of every day, right? Text somebody, or I mean, this says email, but I don't think any of us email. We all text. So text someone just praising them or thanking them. Just literally a text takes 10 seconds to say to somebody, and you might make their day. They might have had the worst morning possible. Like today, I had a really, really bad morning, and I will be straight up. I cried. I was just like, wow, today I haven't had a rough day like this in a long time. But then I came to realize that actually I'm really thankful that, that happened to me, because that was something that I overcame, because I haven't had a bad day in a really long time. So always show you're thankful for somebody, because they could be having a really, really bad day. So that's another one. And then with being active, go walk 15 minutes on a treadmill. If you want to start losing weight, that's a start. Even do 10 minutes, 5. You still did it. You still got yourself up to go walk on the treadmill or whatever it was. You're still being active. And then after a while, it'll just become so easy that you'll end up being on the treadmill for 20 minutes without even realizing it. So that is all I got for, self-development in my portion. But I hope you guys wrote down some notes, learned some things. But the next person I want to mention and bring up is someone that I'm so honored and blessed to have met here in Driven, and someone I can call my business partner, who, we do these calls every single week. And she's always a great positive attitude to our team. She's always active in the chats, messaging people, reaching out, always doing that. So she has taught me so much, and I'm just so happy to, get the chance to do these calls and work with her. And I'm just so glad that we get to inspire people together. And I can't wait to see where we take this thing. So Lupita, take it away.
Thank you, Allie. I hope everybody took notes. She did say a lot of good stuff here. So for those who don't know me, my name is Lupita Capote. I live in Chicago, Illinois, and I've been in this industry for about a year, a little bit over a year. And like Allie mentioned, this month we did talk a lot about routines, systems, a formula on how to create a good habit. So I want to talk about how to make your daily schedule. And I feel like a lot of us don't do a lot of the things that we say we want to do because we say that we don't have time. We don't have time to read. We don't have time to work out. We don't have time to reach to the 10 people we're supposed to be reaching on a daily basis. And the thing is that there is time. We're just not using it properly, how we are supposed to be using it. And I used to struggle a lot with not having a daily schedule. And I always thought that everything was in my mind. Like I didn't know what I had to do, but at the end of the day, I was just feeling stressed, overwhelmed. And at the end of the day, I didn't do anything. And so basically, we just have to stay organized with this. Once we're organized, we'll be more productive, we'll feel more accomplished, and we'll be less stressful. And so I'm gonna show you guys some steps on how I created my schedule. It's a trial and error. So when I started making my daily schedule, I told myself that I wanted to wake up at 4 in the morning. And I tried for about a week and I would just snooze my alarm. And I ended up waking up at 6. So I realized that that didn't work for me. And the reason why I wanted to wake up at 4 in the morning was because I wanted to go to the gym. I wanted to read my devotions. I wanted to read a book, or, like a few pages of a book. And I wanted to self-develop. All like from 4 to 7, that was like my schedule that I wanted to do. And obviously that didn't happen. So I had to tweak it around. And now I wake up at 6 and that's working out for me now. But 4 is the best time, but I will probably try in the future. So I'm gonna share with you 5 steps on how I created my daily schedule. And number 1, you have to write down everything that you do in a day. So on a piece of paper, write down everything that you do in a day, even brushing your teeth, eating, when you shower, just write it down. And then on another piece of paper, or on the same piece of paper, write down your non-negotiables. So these are things that you have to do. So you have to eat, right? You have to shower, you have to brush your teeth, you have to go to work. So that's number 2. Step 3 is write things that you want to implement in your schedule. So for example, if you want to read a book, write that down. If you want to hop on a live trading session, write that down. If you want to start exercising, write that down as well. Number 4 is you have to figure out how much time you're going to spend on each activity. So for example, if you know that your morning routine, so morning routine for me is basically, sorry guys, I'm a little sick, my throat's kind of hurting. But so I was saying, my morning routine is basically brushing my teeth, washing my face, and doing my makeup, or just like touching up my, putting on lotion and concealer and all that, doing my hair. So that's my morning routine, and that takes me about 30 minutes. For the guys, it might be 10 minutes. I don't know how long you guys take to get ready, but for me, it's just 30 minutes. Sorry. And then the next thing, it's gratitudes and affirmations. That probably takes about 10 minutes. So write times to each thing that you want to do. And so then after that, if you want, be specific. If you want to read a book, sorry guys, my throat is really hurting. I just had to cough. So the next thing, if you want to start reading a book, like Ali said right now, be specific. If you just want to read 10 pages or 20 minutes, write that down on the activity that you want to do. And then number 5, once you have figured out your time blocks, you want to transfer it into your Google Calendar or to another calendar that you have. And then yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I can't really talk. My throat is like really, really hurting now. So yeah, those are the 5 steps. The next speaker is very, very young. She's just 21 years old, but really mature. She has a lot of knowledge on a lot of the topics, and she's really an inspiration. She helps her team, and she also helps everyone that needs it. Zenna, you're up next.
Right, just let me spotlight myself. Wow, guys, they did absolutely incredible. Like, these ladies, like, I've watched, you know, their progress from the first call till now, and they did so good. So let's type some ones in the chat. I mean, the progress is just insane. So awesome job, ladies. But today I'm going to be talking a little bit about self-confidence and having a positive attitude, because a lot of people don't realize like how much that actually affects everything you do in life. I mean, it's how you move in life. I mean, the decisions that you make, it affects it, the people that you hang around. And so it increases like your motivation. So you need to make sure you have a high level of self-confidence. And a lot of people think they do, but you got to really like think about it and focus on what you've been doing and how you talk to yourself and how you listen to other people. And when you have like a higher self-confidence, you're going to experience less fear and anxiety, and you're also going to improve a lot of your relationships, which is extremely important in this, because your team, I mean, your leaders, you want to have those really good relationships. You want to have trust. And when you have confidence and you can move with confidence, people are going to follow you. That's just how it is. Because if you don't have a high level of confidence, people can tell. And they're going to have a hard time following you. And so you got to make sure, especially if you're a leader, that you have that high level of confidence, and you're going to be able to help motivate them a lot better. They're going to take what you say and actually put it into play. Because a lot of the time, if you don't have self-confidence and a higher level of self-confidence, they're not going to listen to you. They might act like they're listening to you, but they're not actually going to put that into play because they don't see it in you. And so you have to show other people. And honestly, sometimes you got to just fake it till you make it. And if you fake it enough, it's just going to become reality. And so a lot of the time too, when you have a higher level of self-confidence, you're way more likely to go after opportunities because you believe in yourself. And that's just like so many opportunities come across. And so you gotta think about like prospecting. When you're talking to people, you can tell if they have a high level of self-confidence or not. And you have to have a high level of self-confidence when you're talking to them. Otherwise, they're not going to really be interested. They're going to be like, well, who is this person? Why do they actually, like, I don't really care too much. Like, they just don't seem that interesting. Like, they actually have something really going for them. And so make sure you have a high level of self-confidence. And you got to think about confidence is an energy magnet. So the people that you hang around, you're going to realize, like, everybody that's successful has a high level of self-confidence. And that's for a reason. And so it's also how others are treating you is a reflection of how you treat yourself. So what's your self-talk look like? You know? Because so many people, I'm sure many of you have realized, because this was me. This used to be me. I used to have no self-confidence. I mean, I didn't speak up. I let people talk over me. And I had such a hard time, like, even talking to people. I mean, going up to people, I couldn't do that. I mean, I remember we were sitting down. It was me, Justin, Colby, and our team. We were at, I think, Kobe's sushi restaurant. And we had to go around the table and just talk a little bit about ourselves. And I'm that person that in elementary school or middle school that had to like count ahead to see when I would be reading. If like we were reading by sentence, I'd have to like practice that in my head by the time it came to me. And I did that even when we were at the sushi restaurant a year ago. But I mean, if you work on it and you focus on your self-talk and you be your own cheerleader, that's just going to get so much better. And you're going to be able to impact so many more lives, and you're going to help so many more people, you know, get into this opportunity and show this opportunity And so I kind of want to share some low self-confident behaviors, and I kind of want you to think about if it resonates with you or not. So the first one is your behavior is often based around what others think about you. And then the second, staying in your comfort zone, too afraid to take any risks and scared of failure. If you're scared of failure, you're not gonna like accomplish the things that you really want to accomplish in life. Your goals, you're not gonna reach those goals. You're gonna get to a roadblock and you're gonna give up. That's why you need that high self-confidence. And another one, hates to make any mistakes and will cover it up before anyone finds out. People with high self-confidence, they know they're gonna take charge and they're gonna say, yeah, I made a mistake. And that's fine, because how they move, that tells all. And so another one, looking for validation from others. That's what I used to do all of the time. I listened to everybody else. I wanted everybody to like me. I did as much as I possibly could to make other people like me. I went out of my way for them, even if it put me down, because I wanted their validation. And where did it get me? In a really negative headspace. And then I had to retrain my brain and get back to it and get back to a better positive headspace. And so another one is struggling to stand up for themselves. Make sure you stand up for yourself. It's so important. Like, people are gonna run right over you. They're gonna keep pushing those boundaries because they know they can't. Because you're not stopping it, you're just letting it happen. So don't let those kind of things happen. Take charge. And so I want to kind of list some of these confident behaviors now and think about if any of these resonate with you. Always doing what's right, no matter what anybody else might say. Because when you move with, confidence, and you have that positive attitude and you do the right thing always, like, people are going to follow you. They're not going to go follow the person that's bragging about stealing something from a store. That used to happen to my friend group all the time. They would brag about stealing, and I was like, why is that even cool? Like, I don't get it. Why are you acting like that's a cool thing? And it just made me lose respect for them. And so next one is willing to go above and beyond and take risks in order to achieve better things. You gotta go for it. If people have opportunities, go for it. So many people are scared and they're like, nah, like, I don't really want to do that. And I mean, I think about when I first got started in this. Colby's the one that got me started, but I watched him for a month because I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what that is. I'm good. But as I kind of watched, like, I realized, like, the environment that it kind of creates and the culture that's here, and how everybody's literally family. I feel like you all are my family. I talk to you guys more than my actual family. I'm around you guys more than my actual family. And it's incredible because you guys hype me up. And it feels so good. And I love hyping everybody else up. And another one, able to admit when you're wrong, or if you've made a mistake, and then learning from it. It's okay to admit it. Just take it as a lesson, never a loss. It's always going to be a lesson. You got to think about, what did I learn from this? Yeah, it might have been hard to go through, but what did I learn about this? And that kind of actually happened to me today, because I live out in the country and we got a snowstorm, and I tried plowing the driveway by myself for the first time, and that did not go well. I would just say that. I got the tool cat stuck, and then I got the truck also stuck. So then my neighbor had to come over, and he kind of asked me, he's like, you gotta admit, like, you did kind of screw up, but I'll help you out. But, just make sure, like, you don't do this again. Just take it as a lesson and make sure you kind of pay attention next time. And he kind of taught me how to do it a little bit better. And he also plowed the driveway for me, which was really nice. And then don't seek validation from other people outside of yourself. You can make decisions on your own. Don't let other people, make you kind of go with their opinion. That happens all the time. You'll be talking with a group of people and you don't even realize, like, they're going to be talking about something, their opinion, oh, I don't like this, or I really don't like this person. And you're going to start feeling like you don't really like that person. But once you kind of step away, I'm sure this has happened to you. You step away and you're like, I don't actually think that way. Like, what? Like, you got to think about making those decisions on your own and talking about your opinions with other people. You don't need that validation from other people. You don't have to match their energy, especially if they're being negative. And then I'm also going to move over to the next thing, which is 5 things that you can do to build confidence. And it's these, I want you to pay attention to these because they actually really will help you. And some of them go along with fake it till you make it. That's what I had to do. So, first one, pay attention to your body language. How do you sit? How do you walk? Are you walking slow, kind of slouched over? Are you making eye contact with people when you talk to them? All of that matters. People notice that. People realize. And that makes such a big impact in the things that you do and the decisions that you make. And so, number 2, embrace a growth mindset and stop second guessing yourself. I know so many people that second guess themselves. They say something and they're like, oh, wait, should I have said that? Move on from it. If anything, learn from it. It's fine. Stop second guessing every little thing that you do. That used to be me. I made so many, like every decision that I made, I stopped liking making decisions because I kept second guessing every single decision that I made. And it kind of tore me down. It really doesn't do anything for you but tear you down. So take it as a lesson. The next one, plan and prepare. Especially like doing overview calls. Sometimes like I was talking to Leah about it. And when you first start doing overview calls, like I just started doing overview calls, like I was so nervous. But I sat there, I watched the videos over and over and over again of recorded calls. I looked through all the slides. I paid attention to it. I hopped on other overviews and just listened in. You got to take that into account. Plan and prepare, because the more you understand, the easier it's going to be. So number 4 is practice positive thinking. Your self-talk matters so much. So many people are so negative. Like our brains are like programmed to think negative first. And so that's why you have to retrain your brain to think positively. When you think positively, more things are going to happen in your life. More good things are going to come into your life. Those goals that you've always wanted to achieve, you're going to get a lot closer because you're not blowing stuff off. You're not sitting there feeling so bad about yourself. And that attitude that you have towards like that impacts every single thing that you do. And so one thing that my dad always told me, one second, my mouth is dry. One thing that my dad always told me every single time that I left the house was go make it a great day. He never said have a great day, go make it a great day. Because the way that I approached that day is how it was going to be. If something happened, okay, cool. I had a good attitude anyways. I can get right past it. So I always think about, go make it a great day. Don't let the day control you. Control the day. And you can do it. It's going to go so much better, especially if you can do it and pay attention to it and be self-aware about it. And then number 5, look after your health and well-being. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you working out? Because so many people don't realize, once you start going to the gym, which it might be scary at first, that's fine. But once you really start going, it feels so good. You start feeling better about yourself, and working out actually has a direct correlation to your self-esteem. You got to think about it. I mean, I go to the gym every single day, and I always see people flexing in the mirror, and I'm like, yes, go off. I love that. I love to see it. And it was terrifying going at first, to be honest. I didn't know how to use any of the machines. They looked scary. Even if I looked at the pictures, I was like, I still don't know how to use that. I'm confused. And so I just went up to people and asked. You just got to go about your day and don't be scared to ask questions. And then also make sure you have self-discipline. Because if you have self-discipline, you're going to do a lot better. Otherwise, if you sit there and you're like, I don't know if I really want to go to the gym, I don't really feel like it, those are the days that matter the most. Those really are the days that matter the most, is when you can get into the car and go. The hardest part is literally getting into the car and driving there. And then once you're there, it gets easier. You just got to keep going and keep going. And then also hold yourself accountable. Are you doing the things that you want to do? Are you actually doing the things that you want to do? Because a lot of people, they're like, okay, well, I did kind of want to do that, but kind of seems a little bit hard, so maybe I'll just do this instead. No, stop doing that. Hold yourself accountable. If you want to do that, go do it. You can achieve anything that you want to achieve. You just have to have that mindset, and you have to put yourself forward and do it. And so with that, I think I am complete. So yeah, make sure you have high self-confidence, work on it, fake it till you make it. So now I kind of want to enter questionnaire. So I don't know if any of you guys noticed on the poster, it said come with questions. So Aaliyah, Lupita, and I, we've noticed, people reaching out to us with certain questions, and we'd love to address them on here, because a lot of the time, many people have the exact same question, they're just too scared to say it. And that's where the self-confidence kind of comes in play. The people that say it have that higher self-confidence. So I'm going to go ahead and spotlight Lupita and Allie. And so you can either write a question into the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask us.
Yo, I had more of a question and a statement mix. Multiple times you said, fake it till you make it. And I just kind of wanted a clarification on that, because a lot of people get that confused, between who are you faking it to and why are you faking it, opposed to, why aren't you being your true and authentic self? And I feel like for me, when I learned this, the fake it till you make it, it's not fake it till you make it for other people, but you fake it till you make it to yourself. You have to convince yourself that you are that person, and that you are having those feelings, and that environment is your environment, even though that it's not happening, and like it's not your it's not your circumstances, but it's your reality. Is that what you're going with that?
Yeah, exactly. It's all up to you. It doesn't matter what other people think. Stop caring what other people think, especially like going to the gym. So many people are like, oh, like, am I doing this right? Like, those people probably like are noticing, like, do I have the right form? Are they looking at me weird? It's all in your head. So, and with fake it till you make it, it's all acting. All of us can act. Act like you know how to do it. Act like you can do it. Act like you're the best person ever. Act like you can achieve any single thing that you want to achieve.
So I have a question myself. I like that. So you said your dad always used to tell you, make it a great day, not have it a great day. That is a phenomenal statement. I will be using that for the rest of my life. I like that a lot. But from your guys' standpoint, and you guys can answer, but what for you guys constitute, like what puts you in the direction of making it a great day? For your guys' selves, like what optimally, if you got certain things completed or certain tasks done, what would make you have a great day?
I'll answer. So for me, it's if I read my devotional, if I did some reading, and if I wrote on my gratitude journal, and if I self-develop. If I do all those things, I feel like I've accomplished so much throughout my day.
I like that. What
yeah,
stops you? What stops you on the days of what stops you from doing that every single day? Like, what are challenging factors, or why is a reason that you don't do it every single day?
So, I do it every day now, but I didn't used to do it back then because I didn't have my schedule set up. So I thought I had no time to do it, when in reality, I wasn't I wasn't, aware of my time. So once I wrote everything down and put a time block into whatever I had to do, and I put it on my phone, and once I got the reminder, I knew that I had to go do it. So just because if I just rely on my mind that, oh yeah, I have to do this and then I don't end up doing it at the end of the day. So you have to write it down on your calendar and have a time when, so you can do it.
For sure, you made it a priority. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, made it a priority. I like that. So every day is going to be a great day then.
Yeah.
Every day should be a great day. You woke up.
For me, like I just say my affirmations. I'm like, wow, I'm gonna crush it today. Today's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be an amazing day. This is gonna be the best day of my life. You just gotta set those expectations for yourself, and that's how the day is gonna be. I don't know if any of you guys saw that viral TikTok of these girls talking about how they tell themselves everything always just works out for me. And so when they started doing that, they really noticed literally things in their lives started working out for them. They got the jobs that they wanted, classes started going well. And so that's something that I started telling myself every morning. And so just do the affirmations. It helps so much.
I got a question. I think it's probably similar to Brian's question, but how do you stay motivated and focused and do what you got to do? Not everybody shows up 100% each day, but how do you stay motivated and focused and do what you got to do even when times get tough in your business or your life or relationship or whatever? Like, how do you still show up and do it? And how have you not quit?
I can answer that one because like Josh said, you try to be consistent every day and do it every day, but there are some days where you don't do. I saw, it was actually a picture where it's like, I don't know what it says, but it's like you showing up every day, and every day is different percentage. Some days it's not going to be all 100%. Some days are going to be 20%. Some days are going to be 50%. Some days are going to be 80%. But for me specifically, you have to think about why you're doing what you're doing in the first place. Like why? For me, it's I want these certain things in my life. Like I'm not the person to give up. Just give up. You're here for a reason, so don't give up, because you gotta show up. And there's some days where you don't want to do it. It's like going to work. Sometimes you don't want to go to work, but you go to work. Why? Because you have to pay your bills. So it's the same reason for being in this business and being here. You have to show up. So I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah. And I got a plan on that one. How would you, if you had to give advice, let's say someone's not doing nothing, like they haven't been showing up to trading calls. This is like their first call on here. Maybe they haven't done anything that they're supposed to be doing. If that was you and you wanted to change, what would you do to get yourself out of that rut? Like, what would you do to start making those slow changes to get out of it if you were them?
I would get on that call. I would get on that call, because there are some days where I'm not always on every single call, but when I don't get on that call, I regret it. I regret not being on that call. So if you just get yourself on that call, you're ready there. It's so much easier than to keep doing it, keep getting on calls. So I think just getting yourself there.
I love that you said that, because that's the exact same way that I've always felt. Like there's been times where I did not want to go to like an event or like show up, because like, man, I've heard some of this stuff so many times, and I've been in the industry for 4 or 5 years now, but I've never regretted going to a single call or an event ever in my life. So I like that. I really resonate with that.
Josh,
Right.
what was your original question, by the way? Like what motivates you? You're muted.
You're muted, bro.
Hell yeah, guys. Hell yeah. How do you stay motivated and focused when times get tough in your business? Like when people are quitting, or when like your family is just giving you the most shit ever. because of what you're doing? Like, how do you stay focused and motivated? That's what I was asking.
Okay, so for me, I get a lot of shit from my family. I'm not gonna lie, I get a lot of shit from my family and the friends that I used to have. And it's used to have because they're into drinking in college and partying. So what really motivates me is I think about like, I'm not doing it for myself anymore. As soon as I started building a team, I realized like, this isn't for me anymore. This is for them. And then it's also my why. I've always wanted to give back to like my community and my town. I think about how much people are going through the hard times, and I've always dreamt of like being able to give back. And so just thinking about those people, like I have those people on my mind. I have those people's names written on sticky notes and on notes in my phone because it's not for me anymore. It's for them. And so that's the real motivator for me.
I also want to mention that we can't really be relying on motivation, because I used to rely on motivation to go to the gym. Every day I would say, I don't feel motivated today. Tomorrow I'll be motivated. I'll go to the gym tomorrow. And then it would be like that. And then so, and when once I realized that like, yeah, motivation's not gonna be here all the time, then you just have to like, I'm sorry, I lost my thought. Sorry.
You just
Next
gotta, you
question.
just gotta do it. Like, you just have to make the decision to do it. And once you do it, like you said, getting into your car is the hardest part of going to the gym. So if you want to implement anything into your habit or into your routine, I mean, if you want to implement anything into your routine, you just have to start somewhere, which means you have to do what you got to do. So
I got one more. What would be your guys's, like, if you had to give 3 tips, each of you, and it's okay if you say each other's, for someone who's new to go hit that first rank in the company, senior representative and above, 1,000 volume right, 1,000 left. Like, what would you be your 3 tips if they wanted to go get it done and get in that, special, leaderboard section? What would you say?
I would say confidence. You gotta have, I mean, you don't gotta have confidence, but you do gotta have confidence in yourself. You also got to, I don't know, just do it. Like, it's so easy just to say it, just do it, but like, you just have to do it. So for me, I don't know how to give the 3 tips. Maybe you'll get it out of what I'm trying to say. But when I first got into the business, my main focus was not to build an organization. That was not my main focus. But you got Josh over there. He knows how to talk to people. So he convinced me, and I started to like believe in myself that I could do this. And I just literally did it. It's scary, but you just got to do it. So I had to practice my public speaking. I didn't even know the presentation. How was I supposed to show somebody? Well, you just have to practice it. And then after that, it became part of my routine, where I just literally just did it. So I think you have to, like what we talked about, self-development. There's just so much that goes into your life that you wouldn't realize. You will learn so much about yourself by reading a book that builds confidence, talking to yourself, telling yourself things. So it's just little things like that.
Hell yeah, that was awesome.
Definitely. I would say, first off, self-confidence, because you got to be confident in everything that you do. When you're confident, even if you don't feel confident right away, that's when things are going to start happening. And self-doubt kills the opportunities. So if you want these opportunities, stop doubting yourself. And then also having a positive attitude. When you have a positive attitude, people are going to listen to you. People are going to want to hear you. People are going to want to know about the opportunity because, first of all, the self-confidence, you know what you're talking about, and having that positive attitude. People don't listen to negative people. You got to think about that. People do not listen to negative people. And then the other one was figure out what's holding you back. That's something I do talk to my team about. I don't focus on the negative really with them, but if they're like, man, like some stuff is just going on in my life. Like, yeah, everybody has a personal life. Things are gonna happen. But figure out one thing that's really holding you back, and write down 3 solutions to it, 4 solutions to it. Because even if the first solution doesn't work, then go to the second. And always come talk to me. I have such a close relationship with my team because I built that trust. And so they know that they can come talk to me whenever. But yeah, Lupita.
What I would say is, like Ali said, just do it. But sometimes when we just tell somebody just do it, and obviously they don't, right? So obviously they need to like have the right mindset of why they're doing it, especially if you want to share this opportunity. Why you have to think, why are you so afraid to reach out to somebody that is helping yourself and is helping others make income, or or learn a new skill? So why are you so afraid to like reach out to people? If you were struggling in that position that maybe somebody is struggling, you would probably want that opportunity. You would probably want somebody to reach out to you. I was at that point where I was working retail, and I've always wanted somebody to like just come and tell me, hey, like I have an opportunity or a business or a way to make money online. And that never happened. Like that was probably when I was working retail, like 24, 25 years old. And 5 years later, I mean, I did find it like a year ago, but yeah, so you have to think, why is it that you don't want to reach out to people? You don't know if they need that opportunity or not. I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can you guys tell us like one thing, like, dude, how can you describe what it was like doing your first presentation call where you were running the show? Just describe it. I want to hear what it was like for you guys.
I don't even remember.
Come on.
You remember probably.
Maybe
I don't know.
how you felt.
All I know is I was so nervous. And it was just me talking through a screen, and I was so nervous. But after I did it, I was just like, wow, I just did that. Like, I just did that. Really? Like it sounds silly, but you can do it. Anybody can do it. So yeah, I was nervous, and I don't think Josh even knew I was nervous because, well, first I was on a computer screen, but it was just me in my head thinking, he can probably see I'm nervous, but no, it's just all in the way you talk too. So
No, and once you like finish that presentation, you just feel like so proud of yourself and accomplished. And then you think of like, why was I so nervous, or why like was I feeling that way? If it was just like a quick presentation.
yeah.
For me, I'm not gonna lie, I did it not too long ago, and I definitely bombed it a little bit, but I had the energy and I had the self-confidence the entire time. So he was like, oh, like I'm actually really interested. Like, let's get into it. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go for it. And just with the self-confidence and having that energy, it goes such a long way.
Yeah.
So anybody else?
I was gonna say, if anybody else have questions? I know we're an hour and 15 minutes into this call. We appreciate everybody who hopped on.
I drop one in the chat.
What is one reason why you would encourage someone on this call to share the opportunity?
I mean, I kind of did answer that. I said, like, why wouldn't you want to share something that's helping you? You don't know other people's situations, and they might be looking for a sign or for somebody to reach out and help them out. Yeah.
Definitely. I kind of agree with that. I mean,
at the end of the day, I think you have to just put your feelings aside and just don't think about yourself and think about the other person. If you gotta know, then if it wasn't for them. And if you gotta, like, if you're here was because you wanted to learn a skill or you were struggling financially, and you got this opportunity. So why don't you want to share it?
Exactly. And a lot of you don't realize, like, people are watching you. Like, people are watching your stories. They just might be scared to reach out. So go reach out to them. Go reach out to other people, because they might have been waiting for it, and then you can help them out and help them get that confidence, because there's so much growth here. Everybody grows.
I know we okay. Brian put in the chat. How do you get past the fear of ruining relationships with people you care about the most when you're trying to give them this opportunity? I mean, how to answer that one is I haven't really lost any like friends or anything based off of what I'm doing, but they know what I'm doing. But it's crazy because they're like, well, I'm not gonna get started till I see you succeed. It's always they want to see you be successful. They want to see if it actually works. But for me, I don't think that that's how it should be at all. I'm doing this.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I'm doing this because I want to be here. Nobody forced me to be here. I'm here because I want to do this. I want to help other people. I want to learn. I want to grow as an individual. Why wouldn't you want to be around like-minded individuals who want the same thing? I don't want to be around those people that don't want what I want. So I don't know if that answered your question, because I never really lost any friendships throughout it, but I guess there is a fear. There's a fear of not ruining that relationship, but you shouldn't care what people think of you because you're doing what's best for you. So they should follow you.
Exactly.
Right. And at the end of the day, it's like, are they really your friends if they're not supporting you in what you're doing? It doesn't matter if they join you or not, but are they being supportive? And if they're not, then maybe, reconsider if they're really, really there for you.
Exactly. And for me, I used to be really scared, honestly. I didn't even want to post stuff on my stories. I mean, I'd be talking to my leaders and they'd say, just post little simple things on your story. Like, we'll give you the content if you need it. And I was like, nah, I don't know how like my friends are gonna feel about it. I don't know how my family's gonna feel about it. And I'm not gonna lie, I lost my whole friend group from high school. And like, it kind of sucked at first. And then I realized like they were dragging me down because they all talked about negative things. All they wanted to do was party. And like, they weren't focused on the things that they really should be focused on in life, the things that are going to get them farther in life and excel. And so I just realized like I needed a better group of friends. So you just gotta like think about, is it worth it? Like Lupita said, they really weren't my friends. They didn't support me. And like that made it so much easier because I had a really big realization that they were just my high school friends. And it's okay to lose people.
Yeah, I'm a little bit older than Ellie and Zenna. I'm 30 years old. So I lost my friends when I was maybe in my mid-20s, 24, 25, because everything that we did was just party and go to work, and that's it. And then you start to realize, once you get older, you start to realize that if you want something better for yourself, the people that you are hanging out around with are just gonna drag you down. If they don't have the same goals as you, they're just gonna drag you down. So like I cut everybody off, to be honest.
That's why it's so important to surround yourself around the right people.
What was that saying again? I can't remember exactly how it goes, but like the 5 people, like the 5 closest people around you, something with that. That's how you're gonna be. Like you're even gonna be in like the same income.
Oh, you were the average of the top 5. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But all right, if nobody has any other questions, we will wrap up this call.
Yes, guys. Thank you guys for being here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this call. If you guys have any other questions that you want to message us personally, go ahead and do that. I hope you guys take these calls really, really seriously and implement what we tell you guys here on the call. Next week, we won't be having this call because we will be in Orlando. And I hope you guys get your tickets. You heard the leaders say that, you know, events change lives. So I hope to see you guys all there. And that's all for us. Bye.
See you in Orlando.
Friday night.
Let's go!